39 students of Korea Santi Technical and Vocational Institute accused of involvement in Sunday's disturbances on campus have been remanded to 1 week in juvenile custody. This is to allow police further time for investigation into the students' vandalism. The court, presided over by His Worship Samuel Barbin Kwanzaa, refused bail requests by counsel for the juveniles and young offenders. The counsel for the students argued most of them are innocent of the charges. Nanao Jima was at the Asokoro Mampong District Court and filed this report.
The students came in two buses, one owned by the Asokoro Amedia SHS and the other of Efijase SHS. 27 of the 39 present in the court are juveniles, with the others being young offenders. Throughout the time spent in the bus under police protection, they remained quiet and calm. The students came into court just as they were arrested. Some walked barefoot. The accused persons have been charged with conspiracy to commit a crime, to wit, unlawful entry, causing unlawful damage and stealing. Head of Legal and Prosecution at Ashanti Regional Police Command, ACP Kofi Blagoji, says the police are pursuing other suspects.
We are pursuing other persons who are connected to the offense.
How many are you looking at?
No, right now we can't indicate a number, but we are pursuing them. There's a warning to all the students that they should complement the government's effort. Yes, the government is spending so much in the SHS, and so they can't pay the government back by this mayhem, this vandalism. No, it's wrong.
Per the fact sheet, police had a distress call after midnight on Sunday. The students, after citing the police, pelted them with stones despite warning shots from the police. It took reinforcement for the police to calm the situation. The police managed to arrest 39 of the students, though electricity to the campus was cut. The three lawyers of the students mounted a strong defense for them, insisting most of them are innocent of the charges. They claim some of the students were arrested in their beds. Daniel Kwame Boateng is one of the legal representatives.
When an issue that has this public character occurs, the police normally will embark on a soup. And so therefore, whoever is caught by their net, they will further investigate into the matter. So that is what exactly has happened. So the police embarked on a soup, and these people were unfortunate to be part of the persons that have been arrested.
The court believes it was premature for the students to be granted bail, but requested that they are taken into juvenile custody. Kwabena Jemfi is one of the lawyers.
We did our best. The court feels the application is premature as investigations are ongoing. It's adjourned the matter to the 2nd of February. And so when it comes the next February, and at this time, let me sound a word of caution here, that is too premature for us to visit the merits of the case.
The violent protest over poor examination results resulted in vandalism of 6 vehicles and other school property. For JoyNews, Nanao Jima, Kumasi.
Away from education stories, let's do politics, where the coalition of NDC youth groups in Tamale has described the changes made in parliament by the party as an act of tyranny and autocratic decision that cannot be happening in a democratic dispensation. According to the youth, the action is not only shameful, but a wicked decision taken by a few people in the party. Addressing a press conference in Tamale, Abdul Rahman Saibu said the explanation offered by the party as reasons for the change is not tenable.
We wish to state emphatically that this is not just shameful, harmful. This is not shameful, harmful, and even wicked decision taken by party executive, but also a practice of tyranny and autocratic in democratic dispensation by Mr. Asedun Katia and Fifit Koti. Mr. Asedun Katia, in his quest to defend his unpopular, self-seeking and wicked decision, stated that they did this on the basis of regional balance. If we may ask, why was Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim from Banda maintained? Is it because he is from the same region with Asedun Katia? Ladies and gentlemen of the press, another question is, why was Honorable James Aveji replaced with Honorable Agoja. Both of them are from Volta region of Ghana. We wish to further ask if John Mahama is elected as a flag bearer of the great NDC at a Congress, is he going to change Professor Jane Opoku as a running mate? If it is no, the question is which region is Honorable Atufosin and Jane Nana Opoku from? Another unfortunate and unattainable explanation offered by Mr. Asedun Kasia is that they need people with background of economy to lead our party in parliament, which we find it unreasonable because if it is people with background on economy that should be chosen as leaders, then His Excellency John Dramani Mahama must also be replaced at a Congress because equally not an economist. How many of our previous leadership from Parliament were economists? We wish to send a word of caution to this self-seeking national chairman and general secretary that they should prepare to continue to be in opposition with their self-seeking and parochial interests because we will not compromise Honorable Haruna Idrisu in replace of anybody in the party, not even the former president. We also want to bring to attention of the former president that these people purported to be his loyalties are rather his saboteurs and enemies. So far as we are concerned, we therefore call on all meaning people and stakeholders in the great NDC as a matter of agency to intervene and overturn this unpopular and wicked self-seeking decision that may deny the party, deny the NDC of victory in 2024. Again, once I want to state emphatically and equivocally that Honorable Haruna remain our role model as youth in the northern region, and we look forward to see him progress, and no amount of vilification or intimidation will bring him down. Thank you.
After contractors received $1.3 million to mobilize and start construction of one of the Agenda 111 hospitals in Adoso. The site is still bare with big rocks. Now the minority is touring some of the Agenda 111 hospital sites to expose what they say is the deceit of government. Ranking member on the Health Committee, Kwabena Mintakando, says government has no plans to complete the hospitals.
As far as our records are concerned, about $1.3 million has been paid to the contractor, and the contractors are Imperial Homes, Terrafoco Limited, Grand Unique Company Limited. So such an amount, which is about $1.3 million has been paid to the contractor, and it is reported here that the contractor came to site around 31st January 2022. So it was our expectation that by the time we get here, much progress would have been made. But unfortunately, what we see here is not the case. Again, just like what the president said, that we were going to complete this project in 18 months. Later, he shifted the position to before 2024. And per their own records, it indicates that there is no way that this project can be completed before 2024. So I think that we must know the truth. We must know the real status of work of all these sites so that we are clear in our mind. If some responsibilities are shifted to future government, we will not blame anybody, but we will know the real position as at this time.
To be fair, two questions. We need to be fair to the contractor. Maybe looking at the level of excavation that he needs to do, this is a rocky area. Yes, almost $1.3 million, but you would agree that he may have encountered challenges with excavation, and there's evidence on the ground. You would agree?
You see, such contracts are not given based on try and error. Before you even bid for such a project, a lot of feasibility work must go into it before the president or the government announces that cadastral plans are available. And in fact, if you could check, in the 2021 and 2022 budget, they told us on the floor of the House that they have not less than 92 or
Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante is back on the road with the NDC MPs and joins us on phone with details. Kweku, we understand day one of the tour was cut short yesterday after the surprise removal of Haruna Jisu as minority leader. How's the morale of the MPs this morning or this afternoon as they continue the tour?
So, Marv, as of now, we are back right from the eastern region, from the Asante region, where yesterday the tour was cut short a bit because of that announcement that minority leader has existed. Of course, had given a mandate to his colleagues in the on health committee to do this tour was concerned had been removed. Indeed, after 2 site visits, there was some temporary stop. We went back to our hotel, and a lot of the MPs had to make some calls to the new leadership to be able to get their buy-in, to be able to continue this tour. We understand that buy-in has been given. And so this morning we continued the tour, went to the eastern region, went to about 2 sites. The same situation as you heard Mr. Akando say there. The site is bare. That's why the contractor has taken some $1.3 million to do the work on that Agenda 111 facility. As of now, we are heading towards Damfa. We are also about to inspect another facility where the story we are told is similar. And so the sites we have visited so far tell a story that despite the president's commitment and assurances that the Agenda 111 hospitals will be completed by 2024, that may not be the case if government does not bring pressure to bear on the contractors who have taken money but have so far not mobilized to go to site.
Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante giving us an update there. Now, Member of Parliament for Boehm constituency Kofi Adams says the NDC party executives were not obliged to give reasons for changing the minority leadership. Speaking on the AM show earlier on this channel, the legislator said leadership must always be seen to be thinking ahead in steering the affairs of the party.
Like all other changes, you would expect the shock factor. If you will have to wait for a change to reach a point where everybody says it must be changed, then it means that you are having a problem. And leadership must not speak until everybody sees that change must happen before you change. Leadership must see the need for a change when many have not seen it, or other persons should inform them, make that change. That's what leadership is all about. If leadership will wait to effect change only when everybody has seen it, then you don't have leadership. The chairman of the party has given you some reasons, and I was not even expecting the leadership to be providing reasons out there for the changes that they did. I believe that telling the people that, look, we did the changes for tactical reasons is enough. Don't even provide the details. That's why I'm a bit also surprised and scared that colleagues and members will be introducing many other factors. I heard my colleague talk about religious balance. I don't think that is fair comments to be making at this moment. Look, it took leaders like late President Rawlings to introduce a lot of reforms, religious reforms that provided opportunity for the Islamic community in Ghana. He wasn't a Muslim. His running mate or vice president was not a Muslim. It took persons like late President Mills and Vice President Mahama and President Mahama and his team to introduce means of movement for pilgrims that made pilgrimage a bit more comfortable. They were not Muslim. So it should not take a Muslim sitting in the front line to make sure that issues of religious balance is prosecuted either in parliament or in society in general.
That's Member of Parliament for the Boehm constituency, Kofi Adams. Now, Ghana is set to take out the death penalty from its books. This comes after several calls by civil society organizations and international communities. The citation was made by Attorney General and Minister of Justice Godfrey Dame when the country took a turn at the 42nd session of the United Nations Universal Periodic Review in Geneva.
Ghana is undertaking and has undertaken. The Constitution, the Criminal Offences Act 1960 at 29, and the Armed Forces Act 1962 at 105 impose the death penalty as punishment upon conviction for certain offences. In 2022, a Member of Parliament introduced the Armed Forces Amendment Bill 2022 and the Criminal Offences Amendment Bill to Parliament. The bill seeks to amend Act 29 and Act 105 to substitute the death penalty with a penalty of life imprisonment. The bills were laid before Parliament on 25th July 2022 and has been referred to the Parliamentary Committee on Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs for consideration.
Government has been urged by the United States of America and the United Kingdom to protect the rights of minority groups, including the LGBTQ+ community. The two superpowers expressed concerns regarding the promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values bill currently being considered by Parliament. Now, the concerns were raised when the Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, briefed the United Nations Human Rights Council on Ghana's efforts towards protecting human rights. Listen to representatives of the two countries raise various issues regarding human rights abuses, including attacks on press freedom.
To free family planning and mental health support and progress in tackling child, early and forced marriage. However, we are concerned by the continued existence of alleged witch camps which run counter to Ghana's social protections. We're encouraged by discussions in Ghana's parliament on abolishing the death penalty, and we also note Ghana's commitment to free speech and urge them to uphold this, including by addressing threats to journalists. We are also concerned by reported violence towards and criminalisation of LGBT+ individuals. We recommend Ghana, 1, further expands the provision of basic health services and social protections, 2, holds those who harm, intimidate or harass journalists to account, and 3, upholds its international human rights obligations, including protecting rights for LGBT+ people. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we will hear the intervention of the United States of America.
Thank you, Mr. President. The United States welcomes the distinguished delegation of Ghana. We commend Ghana for its leadership role on security and democracy in the region. We remain concerned about the pace of anti-corruption and justice reform efforts. In the spirit of constructive engagement, we recommend that Ghana, 1, promote human rights of all persons in Ghana, including LGBTQI+ persons, by opposing all discriminatory legislation, prohibiting discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, or sex characteristics, and effectively implementing existing laws and policies that are consistent with the fundamental freedoms expressed in the Ghanaian Constitution. 2, significantly strengthen anti-corruption efforts by enforcing existing laws and enacting and enforcing robust ethics and disclosure regulations to improve accountable governance and address pervasive public corruption. And 3, implement justice sector reforms to ensure fairer and more efficient case resolutions, including for indigent defendants, and in interlocutory appeals and trial management processes. I thank you.
Listen to Attorney General Godfrey Dame address these concerns.
Ghana is generally committed to respecting the human rights and freedoms of all persons. The national report highlights the measures Ghana is undertaking and has undertaken to safeguard these rights and freedoms, some of which have been mentioned earlier this afternoon. Indeed, Ghana aims to continue to develop new initiatives in this regard. Protection of LGBT+ persons. In response to the questions raised by the United States of America, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland regarding the protection of the human rights of LGBT+ persons and the measures Ghana is using to address discrimination against such persons, as mentioned earlier, Ghana is committed to ensuring the protection of all persons from violence. As indicated, the state prohibits all forms of violence and brutality targeted at any group of persons in Ghana, including all minority groups. All crimes of violence, when reported, are effectively investigated by the necessary authorities and the perpetrators brought to justice. Freedom of expression and protection of journalists. Germany and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland seek to know the measures Ghana is taking to protect the freedom of press and journalists. Ghana firmly opposes the values of free, independent and pluralistic media. A conspicuous symbol of Ghana's freedom as a nation is the presence of a free, dynamic and ever highly critical press.
This afternoon, the Ghana Science and Tech Explorer Prize, GSTEP, wraps up the Tech Exhibition Challenge at the Accra International Conference Centre. 50 teams made up of 4 to 6 team members from schools in the Ashanti and Greater Accra region made it to the grand finale to exhibit prototypes of problem-solving technologies. My colleague Prince Osu Ansah was there.
We are here at the Accra International Conference Centre. Yes, this is GSTEP Challenge, and they are having an exhibition. As you can see now, we have various groups, various schools here exhibiting their electrons. Yeah. So let's get closer to them and see what they have for us. In fact, all the students you can see here, they are all tech fanatics. It will surprise you. I mean, the display and things they are showing off, it's so mind-blowing. So let's get closer to them and find out what they have for us. And please, I learned you are intellectual power. So what do you have for us now?
We have an automatic board cleaner which helps to clean the board left and right.
All right. So what is this? What informed this decision? I mean, we want to build Ghana forward. We want to, improve science and technology in this primary school. So what informed this decision?
To save time, because when the teacher is done writing and he or she asks the students to clean the board, before the students will get to the board, he or she has wasted a lot of time.
Everything that they have here is built locally. Yes, as you can see, this is more or less like a pin with a wooden should I say a joint? Yeah, something like that. And with a motor on top just to assist the movement and everything. Yeah, they are displaying a whole lot here. Let's move on to the next stand here. So here they call themselves Victory. So let's move to them and see. As you can see, we have a lamp stand here and some light bulbs. I don't know whether it's a flower pot. And yeah, this is a magnet, I think so. So hello guys, what's your name?
Asiedua.
From which school?
Sabre DAJHS.
DHS
2.
DHS 2. All right. So, what's this? Because I see this to be a room decor. So, what informed this decision?
Well, we used rechargeable bedside lamp and steady lamp to help people living in areas without electricity. And this is a steady lamp. So, for students to study at night. So, well, maybe a student is living in an area without electricity. This is going to help him or her to study, and teachers as well, because maybe some teachers need to study before they can come to the classroom and teach. So, that was the main purpose behind it.
All right. So, as you heard here, you see, we were struck with doomsaw in recent times, and this student here decided to build a steady lamp, yes, to assist particularly students who don't have light. And right now, I think Ghana very soon will be having this more erratic power supply. And yes, we will need this thing to assist students and also teachers as well. So, what's this thing to? Okay, so they all serve that same purpose. And I've seen this one here. I don't know what it is, but can you please tell us?
Well, you can use it to decorate your center table. Like for decoration purpose, that's why I made this one.
All right. So, as you can see, this team here, they have something we call a room decor. And it's basically lights, lamps, and also something like a flower pot. Yes, as you can see here. So, this is what the youth and I mean the children, this is what they are doing just to promote science and technology. We have a lot more stands here.
Residents of Nyanyaba Estate area of the La Dadekotopon municipality in Accra are crying for help as noise from bars and pubs is robbing them of their peace, making it difficult for them to sleep or conduct their business. My colleague Michael Ashali has been to the community and now reports.
During the day, the neighborhood is dead quiet. But at night, the story is the exact opposite. That's the situation in Nyanyaba Estate in the La Dadekotopon municipality. For residents there, the noise from some of the bars and pubs are fast becoming a nuisance. Felicia has been living in the area for years and tells Wache during the day. She barely remembers the last time she had a restful sleep.
All the workers need to know what Kasa or Mudio lawyers or now a lawyer dear said the Nukrana baby a done a senka or the two. A duana dua or more blocko beer gates. Sir, be emergency be a fearful money parking space.
In Ghana, the permissible ambient noise set by the Ghana Standards Authority and the Environmental Protection Agency for Educational, Health Facilities and Offices should be 55 decibels during the day and 50 decibels at night, whereas areas with residential and some commercial or light industrial activities should be 60 decibels during the day and 55 at night. But it seems that these regulations are not being upheld. Like Felicia, more residents in Nyanyaba Estate are unhappy with the noise in the area.
They disturb us in the night. You can't sleep. And the place is very dark. There are no street lights around, so the crime rate over the time has been going up also. Then people even have sex in front of the car parks over here and all that. In the open.
Laboni, Cantonment, Osu, and now Nyanyaba are dotted with bars. As mixed residential and industrial areas, they have become hotspots with many of these bars fluidly flouting noise level regulations.
You know, you cannot have excessive sound in an area when people want to talk to each other. So those are the things that have gone into our setup and our design.
Kwesi Osei Kwesi owns a number of bars in Nyanyaba that has been operating since 2019. He disagrees with the notion that the area is classified as residential.
So number one, it's not a residential area. Number two is that we have received noise complaints. But you have to consider that if you get a noise complaint and you're located in a light industrial area, right, it's not the same as when you're in a residential area. That said, we did not disregard our neighbors' requests about the impact on their business. So we took it up on ourselves that, look, let's do even further and go down even more, which we.
Hello, good afternoon and warm welcome to the business segment on JoyNews today with me, Pius Kojobaka. International creditors have started pushing for more details about the composition of Ghana's debt. Well, this is the latest request from the Paris Club following government's request for reprofiling of the country's debts and possible cancellation. Joy Biafe has the rest of the story.
Request is coming from the creditors committee that has been formed by the Paris Club to look into Ghana's application. The committee wants to get fine details about which countries Ghana is indebted and the terms of the loans. This would help to better reconcile the numbers for any action going forward. The development may help in understanding the true position of Ghana's indebtedness to the group of 20 developed countries members. There is the framework that has been established with the full support coming from the IMF for countries that have requested for debt cancellation. It is believed that if government is able to deal with this challenge, then maybe the February ending target set by the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to reach a deal with the Paris Club in terms of their commitment to cancel Ghana's debt may come to pass. Getting this deal may also help Ghana in securing the IMF board approval for the country's program to turn around the economy.
Now, a few weeks into the year, traders are already lamenting over the decline in sales. According to them, they are experiencing low purchase of goods, and this is greatly affecting their business. They spoke to Joy Business.
Many businesses have experienced a decline in sales over the past few months. This they blamed on the country's alien economic situation. Coming into the new year, Many business owners were optimistic that sales would pick up. These hopes have, however, not materialized just yet in the new year.
Me to meet my target for this January. Let's see.
Purchasing of goods in the beginning of the year has been very slow because parents have just paid the school fees of their kids. I will not be able to meet my target for sales this month.
Many are still holding on to the hope that sales would pick up in the coming months.
From the beginning of this year, it has been very, very slow. Market has been very, very slow. And I'm sure we are not the only ones. Other businesses as well has been complaining. I have friends who are also into other businesses as well. And so they've been complaining that sales has been kind of down for now. And then as time goes on, it's just too early to conclude everything. Yeah, so as time goes on, it's just the beginning of the year. Let's see how things go by the end of this month and early February going. I'm sure we'll all pick up and then we'll all be able to write something for ourselves this year.
For some, the cost of importation impacts on the pricing of goods, and the dwindling in sales is very disappointing.
Since January started, sales is not all that moving well, but we are in it. We expect the government to work on it so that it becomes better for us. Because the sales, as you can see, you see how here it's quiet, no one is coming. So we pray government can do something to help us so that sales will improve for us.
For Joy Business, Jesse Aram Agbapo's report.
Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News today. Now, award-winning rapper Sarkodie has apologized for any hurt feelings he may have caused dancehall artist Samini. Samini accused him of ignoring his request to collaborate after the duo had linked up for Sarkodie's Love Rocks in 2014. The dancehall artist called Sarkodie out on social media for supposedly expressing reluctance to jump on the former's project.
Him feeling like that, I don't have any control over that. I can only say sorry to how he feels, not necessarily because I agree with everything he's saying, but if that's how he feels, I don't think I have any, but my dream creating the things that he's talking about. And to make some things clear, I said in the beginning, I treat things differently from how people would treat things. So every person in this industry has some, I wouldn't call it pain because I don't care, because that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen to you. Everybody has something happening to them, so I get it. He has expressed, if you want to take people to call and say, Sarkodie does things for me quick, you have 1,000 people who also say it. And then you have some people who also say, what I say? I told Bulldog, it's about the music. I just recorded, not because the music is not good. You could hear a song that is so good, but maybe you don't hear yourself. You're trying to find a pocket in the song, and then one day you do it. And then some songs, when they send it to you, it's like 2 seconds. Maybe probably if I send you a song and then you really loved it in that moment, you did it. I didn't figure it out.
And Showbiz here on Joy News today. There's more Showbiz news in our subsequent bulletins. Good afternoon to you, Mops.
Hi, Becky. How you doing? Are you all right?
Yeah.
All right. And that's how we end Joy News today. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com.